The one change you're really going to want to know about is the biggest one of all. I believe it's completely changed the way I ride. Damn! Where'd those guys come from? I've done a lot of little things to my bike lately that have made the bike ride so much better. On my previous bikes, I would just buy them, they'd set them up at the shop, I would get on them, ride them, and not really adjust too much. For some reason this time I was just paying attention to every little thing the bike did, and I wanted to make it better. I've done 3 things to this bike that have made it so much better, and I believe it has made me a much better rider. Let's talk about them.
Enough talk!
Let me talk. Go back to killing your barbarians. The first thing I did, and it's such a simple change, is the positioning of the brake levers and the gears. When I ride, I pretty much always have my one finger on top of the brake levers. So if you think about the positioning of the brake levers and how it relates to how your hands hold the handlebars, it makes a big difference. If these brake levers are down here or up here, look what it does to my hand when I move my finger. So I think on my past bikes, my brake lever was always down too far. I feel like my hands were always rolling a little forward on the handlebars, and in turn, it was pulling me forward on my bike.
What you talking about, Willis?
Did he just call me Willis? So I moved the brake levers up a little so that my top knuckles were almost straight up with the handlebars, just a little bit forward. And what I feel it does is it puts me back in a better riding position, and it keeps my palms locked in on the handlebars.
Yes, do you think that's a good idea? Don't worry, it gives him power.
It gives me biking power. This is a simple thing you can do to your bike that costs you nothing. It's a couple bolts, adjust them, go for a little ride, come back, adjust them higher or lower depending on how you're feeling, tighten them up, and you're good to go. You guys might have been like me and never paid attention to this. Give it a shot and see how it works for you.
I've never heard someone say so many wrong things.
It might be stupid, but I'm doing the best I can. The next one, it's been around for a while and there's been big debates on it.
Will you shut up, man?
Can't we all just get along? And I've never used it before until now. It's Cushcore. I put Cushcore in the back and the front tires on this bike. I'm not gonna lie. The first week, I did not like it whatsoever. I didn't like it. I felt like it was heavy. I felt like the bike was just not responding to me. But what it was is I wasn't putting the tire pressure right. If I'm just riding basic trails, downhill trails, stuff like that, I'm not at a jump park, I'm running about 16 pounds in the rear and I'm running about 14 pounds in the front. It is like a dream come true.
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
Get out of here. The traction is unbelievable. I can roll into turns with confidence, knowing I'm not gonna slide out. They give me that little added security of my rims not getting destroyed or bashed up. So Cushcore equals lower tire pressure, and that equals traction, which equals confidence. No joke. I will never ride a bike again without Cushcore. No. You're singing the right words. Let's get to the number one thing that I feel really changed the way that this bike rides and the way I ride it. Crank arm length. This is a 165 millimeter crank arm. On my high tower, the bike I just had, it had a 175 millimeter crank arm. This bike came with a 170 crank arm. The first 6 weeks I rode this bike, I was literally pedal striking everything. Not only was I pedal striking everything, I just felt like I couldn't really place what it was. I felt like the bike just wasn't pedaling quick enough. Like it wasn't getting that get up and go from the cranks or the pedals. I just thought it was the bike. I'm like, oh man, I got a dud. This isn't the bike for me. My last two bikes have been Santa Cruzes with low bottom brackets, and I was pedal striking a fair amount on those, but not enough to make me really check the crank length. This one, it was almost unrideable unless there was just no roots, no rocks on the trails. Even in sharp turns where I got a little lazy and kept my pedal like this, I was still hitting the pedal on turns. So I went in and I had it changed from a 170 to a 165 crank arm, and it's unbelievable the difference. Not only in the amount of pedal strikes, I virtually pedal strike nothing now. But believe it or not, where I really found the difference is I really start pedaling quicker. When I want to pedal fast and get going, the cranks just go. When I first got on it from the longer cranks, it almost felt like you were on a little kid's bike for just like an hour. Will it hurt me on long climbs? Maybe, but you know what? I'm not racing uphill. I just want to get uphill. For me, I'd rather have the confidence going downhill that I'm not going to pedal strike anything. I also want to have the confidence pedaling up technical sections, rocks, roots, knowing that I can crank around when I need to without pedal striking. For me, the benefits of a shorter crank way outweigh any benefit you might get from a longer crank. This bike just feels like it should have come with a 165 crank. Don't get lazy. I was lazy on all my other bikes. I never changed this. I never changed the angle of my levers. Why not? I don't know. I just rode it that way.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I never changed the crank arms. I never put cush core in. I should have done it before, but that's how you learn. And I love the fact I did it now, and I love this bike exactly the way it is. Make those little changes, and I think you guys will learn more about your bikes and how you ride. Sometimes you just think that it's your bike, it's your bike. Try these little changes and then see how it affects you and how you ride. I hope you guys like this video. Hey, hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. I always forget to tell you that. Have a good day. Straight into it, dude. Kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? GoPro, stop recording.